For years, anger was my default setting, and I did not realize how much control it had over my life until a lot of time had passed and a lot of damage had been done. I had essentially created a prison for myself. And in this video, I want to share what that looked like. I'll share a couple of stories, and I also want to share with you what I did to begin to get out of that prison. Here's the thing with anger, at least for me. At first, it felt extremely useful. Prior to that, I was experiencing a lot of depression in my life, and I didn't know how to manage it. There was a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety. I didn't know who I was. Ultimately, I think that was a part of my problem. I didn't know who I was. And there's a lot of reasons that we could get into that, but that would be too much for this video. So when anger came into my life, it felt empowering. Truth be told, anger feels like a drug to me. It really does. I feel like I get high off of it. Maybe you do as well. Maybe I'm crazy. Who knows? That's where anger got me. It rewarded me by making me feel tough. By feeling driven. It actually, in some sense, it can narrow your focus. But it gave me a false sense of control. And one of the reasons I think that is the case is, again, I did not know who I was. That was probably one of the big things that caused my depression. And then I masked it for all of those years with my anger. It just blinded me. My anger, it blinded me to the reality that I was weak-willed, weak in mind, weak in body. That was a tough realization to come to. So if you will take anything away from this section, take this away. Losing your temper is weakness. It's not strength. It is weakness. In getting ready for this video, I asked my wife when the first time was that she noticed that I was starting to have these sort of behavior issues, these anger problems in our relationship. And she brought up, she started to notice it when we would go to places. Let's say we had to be somewhere at 10 a.m. My idea was that you be there at 9:50 because, I mean, I'm still correct. I know I'm correct on this. 10 minutes early is on time. Late is late. That was many years ago. We've got that all sorted out. But the way that I was communicating my unhappiness at the fact that we were late for things was not good. I was very poor at communicating my emotions, very, very poor at communicating my expectations. And because I was very poor at communicating my expectations, we never resolved anything. We would fight. I would get angry. I would become passive aggressive. I would start even yelling at times depending on how much sleep I had the previous night. Which, by the way, pro tip, get good sleep. Good for the brain, good for the body, get good sleep. If you have behavior issues and you go to bed late and you get up early, well, that's some place to look into. But this example is just the beginning, really. It actually progressively got a lot worse as things went on, especially when we started to have kids. Because I don't know if you knew about kids, but it's a 24/7 job. You are always on. You are always on. Getting really poor sleep only worked to make my unmanaged anxiety and depression far worse. This was just a fun little witch's cauldron, which amounted into just, it was awful. Honestly, I hate talking about it because I hate thinking about it. But this was a very unhappy time of my life. And the only reason why I'm sharing it with you is because I want you, if you are like this, if you are now like I was then, I want you to know, you know what, look, you are not alone. You're not alone. At some point, my anger became so unmanageable, I was actually punching things, like punching the fridge. I remember this night I was arguing with my wife. I started the argument. We were arguing and I got so angry. I don't even remember what we were arguing about, but I was standing in the kitchen and I just went over and bam, I punched the fridge. I left this big dent and my hand hurt like hell. That's not a shocker. Not only was I doing things like that, I was also, we'd be arguing, I just start throwing stuff. Like I said, I don't like talking about it. It's it's a part of my life. I'm really happy. It's a part of my life that I'm really happy is in the past. Sorry. Finally, again, I don't know what we were arguing about, but I had kind of, in anger, during an argument, like palmed the hallway wall, and I was yelling again. I had hit the wall really hard as well. This time with my palm, because I didn't want to bust my knuckle, and I didn't want to create a hole. I did not want to create a hole in the wall that I would have to repair. Big brain. And my wife said to me, "You need to talk to somebody. You need to get a counselor. You need to get some help, because I don't know what the hell to do with you." And that made me stop in my tracks, because I knew she was right. She was so right, and I hated that she was right. So I agreed. I said, yes, let's find somebody. And I'm really glad that I did. It's not an easy thing to ask for help. It's kind of it's a stereotype at this point that men don't like to ask for help. Hate to say it, I hold true to that stereotype. I hate asking for help, but I'm really glad that I was able to swallow my pride. That's another thing that people who are full of anger, I think it would be helpful for them to realize that a lot of that anger is rooted in pride. I'm owed this. I'm owed that. And because anger, for the most part, at least extreme versions of it, are so unreasonable, what we feel like we are owed is also unreasonable. I'm really happy that I was able to listen to my wife, to take her advice, and to go get help. If my story feels very familiar to you, meaning it reminds you a lot of the life that you are living right now, the next step is seeking help. The next step is not letting years go by as this cancer that is anger and rage builds up inside of you. That to me would be the next step. It is very easy to say, oh, I'll take care of it at some point. Believe me, if you're in your 20s, it's going to go just like that. I'm nearly 40. I am a few years away from being 40. That time goes by super fast. And that time spent being angry, that time spent being spiteful, pissed off all the time, it takes up so much of your energy, and honestly, it's going to take years off your life too. It's going to ruin your friendships, it's going to ruin your relationships, it'll ruin your marriages, and it's going to ruin your sense of health, your sense of mental and physical wellness. It just will. That is a fact. I don't want this video to just be confession time with me. The point of me sharing this story is not so that way I can just get it off of my shoulder. I can do that with other people. I'm at a point right now where I am actually much better. I'm healed from that. Do I still experience anger? Yeah, like anybody else. This world is crazy. There's tons of stuff in it, but I'm not overcome by my anger anymore. And honestly, I want that for you. I want you to be able to live your life without this monkey on your back, without rage just overtaking every part of you. That's what I want for you, and I think you want that for you as well. So what I've done is I put together in the description below, I put together 4 different resources. One of them is it's a link to online therapy. That's if you're willing to put money out. The other two are articles. One of them is secular, the other one is Christian. I'm trying to cover everybody here as much as possible. And then the fourth one is it's a link to a book. It's simply a book that has I haven't read it yet, to be honest with you, but it is on my list of books to read. It has really good reviews by an author who is well known in his field. I would prefer to recommend books that I have personally read. I just simply have not read this one. I just wanted to make sure that there was a book that you could go explore if you wanted to take your anger management further, straight from here. I didn't want to simply leave a video and then you just wonder where to go from here. That wouldn't seem very good to me. Another thing that I would say, and this is really important, if you have a community of people who love you, family, friends, you know what? It's going to be very painful. It's going to be difficult to do, believe me. Talk to them about this. Talk to them about what you're going through. And don't do it in a way to try to get them to help fix it for you. You are simply telling them because you need to have morale, you need to have that sense of support, because this will probably be very difficult, but it's going to be so worthwhile. Believe me, it will be worthwhile. Don't do it alone. If for whatever reason you don't have a community, if you don't have people that you can go to, drop a comment below. Let's get a conversation started. Let's be each other's community. This is a very small channel right now. I understand, but I'm very active in the comments. As soon as I see a comment, I jump on it. If that's something that you feel like you need, please feel free. That is it for the rest of this video. If you wouldn't mind giving the like button some love, comment below, share. If you feel like this is going to help somebody, that would be awesome. And I wish you all the very best.